What is up, y'all? Dubsmind here, and today we're doing the game recap for the Thunder game. This one's gonna be short again. When it's like kind of this type of situation where it's most likely gonna be such like a blowout loss, like obviously I hope it's not, but when it is, I probably won't talk too much about the game and focus on news if there is news, which there is a good chunk of news today about the Warriors. So we're gonna do that a lot, and then just keep the game stuff a little bit low. But anyways, let's just start off that Seth Curry finally is signed with the Warriors. I did not pick like a typical article because it'll be boring. I'll just say Seth Curry signed with the team. Boring. I just chose this one because NBC Sports, local network, and it's more interesting because they put like more of like an actual like analysis behind it. And like again, I said we're gonna do the news stuff longer, so game stuff shorter. So good opportunity for this. So more than a feel good story, how Seth Curry helped Warriors right away. So there isn't a cure for the Warriors playing without Steph Curry. So he signed. On Monday they signed Seth to a 1-year contract for the rest of the season. And as the team was hard capped the second apron, the Warriors only have 14 players on their roster to begin the season, and he signed as the 15th man down the roster. Every day they waited to sign him gave the Warriors more financial flexibility down the road. Which I don't know how that exactly works. I'm assuming the later they sign a player in the season, maybe counts less towards their cap in terms of the apron or something like that. I don't know, but now that he's back with the Warriors, he knows exactly what he brings to them. Everyone does. So I think everyone around the league know what I bring to the table as far as my game. Curry told reporters Monday at Chase and afterwards practice, being able to spread the floor, make shots, just great offense. I feel like I can with my movement. I feel like I'm a little underrated on the ball as far as playing ball screens, dribble handoffs, screen that attention from the defense. They know what I bring, and I think the whole league knows what I bring. Just trying to pro that as soon as possible. And Steve Kerr confirmed that he will be active for his debut against the Thunder today, which is most likely gonna result in him playing minutes with the amount of injuries we have. And again, with this game being against the Thunder, obviously I don't think Steve wants to go be like, we're not gonna try, but I think this is a game where if you're able to take the risk of potentially losing a game, it's this game. And just in the case, Seth doesn't fully mesh well yet, but instead of playing him in a team where it's winnable, put it in a game and that's completely out of reach for now is probably the better choice. So he'll probably get minutes. The thing is, like, we need 3-point shooting. And people, Draymond and Jimmy have been talking about their defense, which has sucked recently, which is true. It has sucked in these recent games. But overall, across the season, our defense is still top 10 versus our offense being bottom 10, essentially. And 3-point shooting has been the biggest, obvious, section of our offense that's been lost, especially on the bench shooting. So Seth will help a lot. People are saying oh my god, he's way out of his prime, or hasn't played in a long time, or hasn't played good basketball in a long time. I think he still will. All he needs to do is come into the bench, shoot 5 threes a game, and make 2 or 3 of them. Imagine him making 2 or 3-pointers in a row in a game. That's a lot of momentum for just that one sequence, especially if it's a home game. And Seth can be that type of guy really easily, especially with the way the Warriors play. Because the thing is, if you watch the games, not a lot of these threes are contested, honestly. We've been doing a good job of driving in, passing the ball out, but no one can make a 3, even if it's wide open sometimes. And then that leads into the fact that they start taking contested 3s, because then they're like, oh my god, we need to start making them, and they panic a little bit. But overall, to start off these games, I think the Warriors play pretty well in terms of getting open 3s, and we just haven't knocked them down. So Seth should help with that a lot. It says shooting was such a struggle in that Pelicans game that the Warriors missed 20 of their first 21 3-point attempts, making their third, and then going into 16 straight misses until Moses Moody 3 snapped a streak halfway through the second quarter. Those two were 2 of 7, which is Quinn Post and Moses Moody. The rest of the Warriors were 0 for 15. Their average team in shooting in terms of percentage, 14th, just overall, honestly. True effective field goals, 19th, and true shooting is 16th. Back to why Steph's shooting prowess matters for Warriors. Steph has missed 5 games already and still released the Warriors in 3-point attempts by 67 and makes by 26. But he healed his searching while shooting a career worst 30.8% from 3. That's another big aspect. Quinn Post also been struggling, shooting 31.6% from 3. Draymond is down to 32.9 after being 37 earlier in the season, which again makes sense. Al Horford has only made 32% of his threes in 12 games he has played, and Jonathan Cunningham still isn't a threat from downtown. And the thing is, it's pretty gonna be a big boost. I feel like people don't realize. Obviously, we talked about Al being such a good 3-point shooter before, and then he's been struggling. Same thing like QP and Buddy. And I get Seth might follow that same formula, but again, Seth Curry was the leading 3-point percentage person in the league, so it's kind of a different conversation here. Kerr said he gives another great shooter, guy who's really solid with the ball, total pro, ready on a moment's notice. Exciting. Obviously, we've been anticipating this, and he's been staying as ready as possible. He was in attendance at Chase Center during the Warriors win against the Utah Jazz. He says, I got a handle on the league and how the league's been playing over the past month or whatever. I feel like my mental's right. It's just obviously me trying to keep my game sharp and stay in the best shape as possible. And DeAnthony Melton's season debuts on the horizon too, which is most likely reported to be on the road trip. And then, yeah, that's about it for this topic or this article. But yeah, I think he'll help a lot. People kind of underrate just having a good shooter on the team, despite him not maybe playing the best defense as a guard. But again, all he needs to do is come and make 3 threes or 2 threes in a game, and he's going to be such a valuable asset to begin with, like just with that. So that's that. And then another smaller piece of news is that Warriors add LJ Cryer on the 2-way deal. So he was kind of an outstanding guy during the preseason. He made that like clutch sequence against, I think it's a Trailblazers game in the preseason. And so they signed a 6-point. Okay, their bottom 10 rebounding team struggled to block shots during the post or get near the basket. Naturally, they signed a 6'1" point guard to recently vacate 2-way contract slot. I love this website, Golden State of Mind. Great place to read about Warriors news. Definitely check it out, and they always have good comedy like this. So they add LJ Cryer instead of by waiving Jackson Rowe. Positional fits aside, LJ Cryer rules. He won an NCAA title as a freshman at Baylor and lost a close NCAA final to Will Richards, Florida Gators, last season. And he's played 7 games for the Santa Cruz Warriors, averaging 24.3 points, 4.9 rebounds, 6.1 assists, while making 5.1 threes at a 41.4% clip. Like an elite player in Santa Cruz can easily become your 10th, 9th man player on your main team in the NBA, so it's definitely a good get. Obviously, that's if things go well, obviously, but even then, it's still I still think good G League players can easily help a regular NBA roster. He just missed a triple-double with 28, 10, and 9 in a loss to a shockingly loaded Salt Lake City Star team with Taylor Hendricks, Cody Williams, and Mo Bamba, which I did not know he was there. It says, do the Warriors need another big man? Almost certainly. Was there another 2-way option at center that was better than Trayce Jackson Davis or Quinn Post that Steve Hood would actually play? Probably not. Again, makes sense. Yeah, the short-handed front court, they can always waive Alex Tui. Oh my god, I love this website. But again, yeah, still a good addition. I just hated in the comment section on Instagram, people were like, oh my god, take Pod's minutes, he's been playing terrible. Yeah, he hasn't playing the best, but really, are you saying to give LJ Cryer minutes over Pods when LJ Cryer has not proven on the NBA stage yet? And it's not like Pods is playing that bad. Yeah, and I still want to give credit where credit's due in terms of LJ Cryer. He's been pretty good. But I mean, the thing is, like, look at this. He's only been playing 2 minutes more. He's been averaging a higher points per game, similar assists, a little bit less on the rebound. But his percentage from 3 has been pretty much the highest his season has ever been. It's just his 2-pointer has been a little bit wonky. That made his overall field goal percentage go down. But his 3-point percentage is damn high. It's one of his best. Yes, he's not playing amazing, but it's not like he's been absolutely terrible to the point where, like, he's actively hurting the team. Again, like, I personally think from watching these games, he still has been positively contributing. He just had some like cold streaks at the beginning of the season right here. You take right there, he shot 35% from 3, which isn't terrible, but not the best. These last few games, it's been up to 40% on 3. Again, his 2-point makes has been the struggle, I definitely admit. But again, we need 3-point shooting, and he is a 3-point shooter. And it's been proven in these last 12 games he played. He's been a 40% 3-point shooter. That's very, very good. So again, and even he's been playing pretty well these last few like games too, in terms of like, I know I'm cherry picking kinda, but still, it still proves he's been okay. He had one struggle against the Utah game, which still ended up winning, but these last few games he's been averaging 15 on 43 or on 38% of 3-point percentage and 43% on 2-point, which is, again, 2-point, it's been a struggle, and then been averaging 1.4 steals a game, 4.4 rebounds, and 3.2 assists. That's pretty damn solid, if you ask me. Obviously, he's not doing the third-year leap that you would like him to do, so I wouldn't mind him being traded for a player that has been proving that they've been playing well. But in terms of talking about LJ Cryer on a 2-way deal versus Pods, that's a completely different conversation in my opinion. It's just kind of annoying. Warriors players always just hate on their players like crazy and don't wish for them to play better in the future season. They just wish for them to play bad, which is just genuinely dumb. But anyways, still, again, it's just a thing that I noticed, so that's why I want to bring it up. And all of that aside, now let's talk about the actual game. Gonna be quick again, so 8 p.m. Late start, NBC Sports Bay Area for the local network, FanDuel Sports Network Oklahoma for the Thunder local network. A lot of injuries actually gonna be happening, so let's go through here because there's a chance they might have missed out on some stuff. So Steph, D'Anthony Melton's still out. Draymond Green is probable. Al Horford's still out. Alex Tui's confirmed out this time because he's usually just like there randomly. Trace Jackson Davis is questionable and Butler is questionable. Let's just make sure, because a lot of the times that I do these videos, literally as like a few minutes after the video goes out, obviously because it's closer towards game time, they announce like official like rulings for these players. I'm just gonna check to make sure that ESPN didn't miss anything right now. Yeah, I only really checked Jimmy Butler because TJD probably wouldn't be getting minutes anyways. And obviously Draymond's probable. And Jimmy still hasn't been really updated, so it'll be questionable. I'm just gonna assume he's not playing because that was a pretty bad fall he took. He said he's hopeful that he can play, which was literally the post-game comments after that fall. So I don't know how he's feeling now, obviously, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, we're gonna be out Steph and most likely Jimmy, so I don't expect much from this game. That's, again, the reason why I don't want to talk about this game too long, even though I get it that this is a preview video. Again, they have injuries, so maybe we have a chance, but again, they still have Shea, so at that point, it's kind of like, who do you really think we're going to win? I mean, the fact that a Chase Center game is as low as $54 is kind of insane. It kind of goes to show that it's not going to be a good game, most likely. Obviously, you know, stuff can happen, but again, I don't want to fully bank on that. And for the Thunder, so Alex Caruso's out. Also, this is a better way because it just shows every single player on one thing. Lou Dort is out. Hartenstein will be out for a long time. Obviously, we talked about these two in the last game that we played against them, so I'm not going to mention them, but you guys can see for yourself. But these three players are out, so, you know, a good chunk of their good players are out, but again, they still have Chad, they still have J-Dub, they still have Shea, so, you know, you know. So I'm just hoping Seth gets some minutes, I guess. You know, I think it'll be a good time to do it because I'm just telling you, we're not gonna have a good chance of winning this game. So I'll just quickly go over the last game we played them. Obviously it was a blowout, so even then we're not gonna have much to talk about. I felt a whole lot of nothing with this game, honestly. It was just like we had, again, like I mentioned earlier in the video, we had good open threes. We just couldn't knock them down, and then we couldn't capitalize on those like misplays by them on their defense. So then the OKC just punched us straight back afterwards. So yeah, Steph was off, Draymond was off, JK was fine, he was pretty chill, QP was off. You know, I mean, we had 74 field goal attempts to the 83, so, you know, we had much less field goal attempts. I mean, everyone was like okay, but obviously our stars just didn't do well. Jimmy only took 3 field goal attempts. I mean, again, they didn't play a whole ton until 22 minutes because I think the next game after this was a back-to-back. I think that was the Spurs back-to-back, right? Or no. Wait, was it Spurs? I don't know. I don't really care, but I just know there was a back-to-back after this OKC game, so that's why they ended up just leaving the game pretty early. So, you know, it was just a pretty big blowout. I mean, you can tell from the box score here. Or not box score, but yeah, by quarter, they had a, 19... They had a 35-point lead at the end of 3, so obviously you know, you're not gonna put your stars in if they're losing by that much. So yeah, I mean, the only chance we'll win today is like if Seth Curry goes crazy and has like a breakout debut game, and like we just like shoot hella, like we make hella threes, and then like randomly Shea and Chet have like a bad game for some godforsaken reason. And then Draymond, I guess maybe Draymond just does like an absolute defense masterclass. I'm gonna assume without Jimmy Butler, like, again, very unlikely, but that's like the one potential win that we can have. Because again, this OKC team are beating teams with their full rosters. What sense does it make to expect us to win this game without our full roster, you know? So again, I don't want to be too negative about this, but again, this is the Thunder we're talking about, so yeah, I'll still watch this game kind of like casually and just see how stuff turns out, but ultimately I'm not expecting a win today. And yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.